Hello everyone, this is GunMuse today. Okay, I just got done watching Son of Tech and watching the struggle he is going through setting up his internet. I've gone through this struggle. I live in the ass end of the earth known as New Mexico. We can't get better than 12 megabytes per second from AT&T, CenturyLink, Verizon, nothing until you get into corporate accounting. And I'm going to show you how I fixed the ability to upload a video, to do lives for 5 hours like I do on my gaming channel and get good ping times. And I'm about to show you. Okay, I'm gonna swap my... I wanna show you these antennas I got pointed up on my roof here. They're directional. And I'm gonna put the link down in the comments below for these antennas. They're not expensive. This ain't hard to set up. I've got 2 cables running over here that are just drooping down right now. Hell, they're coming in next to my electrical wires. And I got other Ethernet that's running over to the house. All this, oh, hold on here. I got keys. You know, I got a big building out here, guys. I shot a video for walking around my studio, and I'll put it up because the studio is I'm in the same position he's in. I'm in the middle of moving crap to do 2 things. Make money. All right, so here I am. I'm running $26 today. I got all my rigs turned on. I don't know why that shut off. Here's the little dual RX 580s that I just did. We've got some S9 boards we're going to do some repair on, and we've got some power supplies that we bought at a discount. But here's the dirty little secret, Son of Tech, right there. That's called a Mophie 4500. All right, the other dirty secret. Guys, this has been true for stinking ever. You cannot run a cheap router. Just can't do it. You need a dual processor, high memory router. All right, especially if you're trying to Wi-Fi anything in a building. Now, I'm not Wi-Fiing anything. Everything is Ethernet. Wi-Fi is 10% of bandwidth, but we're talking about ping times. And this is, I mean, this is a little rat nest. I got every single port filled in here. And so I'm gonna go to do some computer tests and show you my ping times of the same things on the same day he dropped the video. Okay, and we are always 60, I'm always 60 to 80 milliseconds behind Dallas. So a good ping time, if you're in Dallas, Texas, I'm losing 80 milliseconds. I guarantee you we're gonna do, and this has to do with signal strength and bottlenecking in both the router and the modem. You need the Mophie 4500. You don't have to replace your Verizon account, but you are gonna have to replace that little puck you bought. Piece of crap. I set one up for my parents. It doesn't work. I'm now doing the same thing for my parents 20 miles out in the middle of the deserts where they live. I got to set one of them Mophie 4500s up for them next month so they can watch the Disney Channel and stuff, you know, with the grandkids. So this has been the only fix to an area that doesn't have quality internet that you can buy. And being at the burden of the cable company at the end of their links, their lines, your DSL, you're more than 1.5 miles away from the DSL. This is the fix. I will put the whole parts list in the video. I'm gonna try and get this up quick and dirty before he goes and blows more money, because this is one of these things where he can have something dropped in from Amazon tomorrow and be up and running. And if it doesn't work for him, send it back to Amazon, guys. But I'm gonna try and but the paddle antennas that they come with are not enough. You've got to set up a directional antenna. I'm going to post the website where you can look up your towers so you know which direction. You saw I had those antennas pointed, one pointed that, you know, northwest, one pointed that. I know where the towers in my town are. And believe it or not, my building is dead center, worst possible spot between both towers. That's why I couldn't just set it in my window and let it run. If I opened the door, it ran great, but I can't run my studio with the door open. So bought the antennas, and the bigger the gain you get on your antennas, the better everything is. You'll get into tuning on the frequency and how to channel lock your Mophie. Okay, that's going to be a dirty little secret. I channel lock my Mophie for the maximum upload speed, because I can either get 40 megs down like a phone, or I can get 20 megs up so I can do anything, because it's all about upload. I still get 12 down on the down, but the megabytes doesn't matter. It's that ping time, ping time, ping time. He's telling you that under 200 milliseconds, that's a gaming reference. It's kind of a worldwide IT reference. Everything being balanced, you want 200, being faster than 200 milliseconds should not be an advantage in the gaming world. I don't know about in the crypto world if faster is going to get, it may add up over the course of an hour if you're talking better, but only if the server is acknowledging you in that same amount of time. So let me run some ping times and get a product list up there of what you can go on Amazon to fix this problem. No matter where you are, these things can run on battery. If you lose power, these internets will run on battery for a little while, okay? But there's a 4G version, which is more than enough. That's what I'm on. I'm going to upgrade myself to the 5G version, and it's not going to get me 1 more ounce of speed. I'm just future-proofing myself. A couple years down the road, I can guarantee you I'm at least 2 years from true 5G, even though my phone says I have it right now. I guarantee you I'm 2 years out. Promise you. See you in a bit. Man, I just shot all the video that I was going to do over here. And because I switched from Hive OS back to my Windows system, and Hive OS likes to screw up, likes to change my clock at the motherboard level, when I hit record, it screwed up the recording software and gave me negative numbers because my clock changed. So we're going to do this again. All right. So I watched Blind Run do his runs over here. We're going to go into command. Okay, we're going to ping ethminer.org. Request time. That's not it. It's ethermine.org. How about we ping the right place? Ping ethermine.org. That's not it either. What the hell? How about I copy and paste the damn thing? Did I typo it? No, that was the right one. Man, the first film I got absolutely 60 milliseconds all day long. Okay, so now I'm getting 672s mixed with 60s. Which is what he's saying. That's on the pool side, boss. But let me talk about the connection here anyway. Man, so I wish I hadn't lost all that video. Okay, so we're running a Mophie 4500. All right, and there is, when you've got to run a big solid router, you've got to have multiple processors and a large amount of memory in your router. You cannot be attaching a bunch of switches to a small 4-port router and expect it to do well. It does not do well. It won't do well with 18 computers in an office. And it's got nothing to do with bandwidth. I'm talking about collision on ping times is insane. So the human won't notice, but the machines will. Okay, so we had the antennas pointed both directions. Down in the comments below, I've got a tower locator. The antennas that I got in there, directional antennas.
So we got a Wilson, direction, and antenna. Now, guys, don't look there. That's $50. Here's one. Oh, here's ours, only 37. Looks just like it. It ain't just like it. The metal inside is just crap. You get strayward. I mean, you get a little bit more noise out of these antennas, and you're trying to reach long distance with them. The noise to signal ratio is different between a Wilson and other things. Wilson's been doing this. They are the gold standard. Everybody is trying to copy them. It's $20. You don't want to climb up a ladder a second time because it didn't work. The other thing I want you guys to avoid, Yagi antennas like these. Avoid them. Parabolics, they will break your damn heart. Okay, parabolics focus the signal so that it's stronger. But when you focus a signal with a parabolic, it's like trying to shoot a basketball hoop 20 miles away. Okay, so if you're, I can promise you, having hired DirecTV techs for 5 years, when I was a DirecTV, as part of my computer business, we installed DirecTVs. This is not easy for your average person who thinks they're a tech to do. They do not get the concept of micro movements and weight. They do not get the concept of not seeing a signal to know that you're in the right spot for a signal you can't read with any meter. So avoid these. Use the Wilson directional antennas. They got a nice wide scoop to them. You're going to get tons of gain out of them. I guarantee you that if you got a cell phone signal, one of these is going to boost you up enough to have maximum bandwidth. All right. So don't try and shortcut my shortcuts on these, and don't try and save $20. It'll break your heart. Don't do it. And like I said, there's a website for where the towers are located. Now with these directional antennas, I like to get two, like you saw outside. I got one pointed at one tower. I got one pointed at the other tower, and I plugged them into my Mophie on both my antennas. So then we're going to band lock our Mophies. You're going to go over to Mophie 4500. You're going to get at your firmware updates for the Mophie, do all this other stuff, and you're going to band lock it. And that's about all you got to do with these Mophies is band lock them, set them and forget them. Okay? You plug your SIM card right into the Mophie. The Mophie talks to the tower differently than a puck or a cell phone does. Okay? And you get different styles of bandwidth. So I've got mine set up and band locked for better upload. I needed the upload for doing lives. Remember, I can only get a 12 meg download here. Well, I can get a 40 meg download if I band lock to band 2, but I only get 2 megabytes of upload if I band lock to band 2. So I needed more than 10 on the up. Let's go to speed test. .net. Finding optimal server, which I'm in New Mexico. It says Pennsylvania is my optimal server, but I'm going to do Texas. I'm going to do somewhere. I'm going to do Dallas, Texas. Let's do CenturyLink. Go. .99 millisecond ping time. 14 on the down. 18 on the down. I can promise you can watch a 1080p movie in 9 megs. But what you cannot do is upload 1080p at 2 megs. So I've got my antennas and my entire building here structured for what I need my business to do. 99 millisecond pings. I'm always 60 to 80 milliseconds behind Dallas. That's why I like to test Dallas. Is I know what getting out of my state takes. My bandwidth has got to go all the way up to Engle, Colorado before it shoots over to Oklahoma and back down to Texas. I already know what I got to go through to get there. Okay, so I've been doing this for 20 years in this location. So 8:15. That's how I can get my upload to run my YouTube channel during lives. Okay, and this is what I had to do it, because if I bought it from any internet provider, it's a 12.2. And the internet was so unreliable, I was always stalling, choking out. And if you're using a cell phone connection or a puck, it's going to choose your bandwidth. It's going to go 2 seconds on, 2 seconds off, 2 seconds on, 2 seconds off. And that might be some of your pinging that you're seeing. Okay. So there's the Mophie fixes that. Plus, I will try and find my corporate account SIM cards. I pay $80 a month for 900 gig of bandwidth, more than enough to do 1080p live streams, 5-6 hours long every week. Download all the porn, midget porn I can handle, and then and run my miners 24/7, right? All at the same time. The hey, what we only film from the waist up right here. So hopefully this has been a little helpful and not as scary as you think it is. And I'll do a proper video on this stuff once I start rearranging the room. All those wires I got drooped down the wall that I covered over, that's all going in the chaseways and the overhead. But I've got to isolate heat because I'm actually going to put some routers and the Mophie 4500 in the overhead just to have a nice clean look. But I can't let them get overhead hot. You know, it gets to 180 degrees above my paneling up here, just from the sun. So I've got a big heat insulator built into this room. But right now, I can't hide electronics in the wall, and I don't want things sitting on a shelf. I want my wires built into the building long term. This building is always going to need cellular amplification. So hopefully one day we'll get 1 gig up, 1 gig down. The minute they turn it on in my neighborhood, I'll have it. It'll just suddenly be 1 gig up, 1 gig down. All you guys are getting it. I'm jealous. I'm sorry, but I hate you all for getting 1 gig up, 1 gig down. I live in the ass ends of the earth in southern New Mexico. If I can get what I'm getting right now, I'm grateful it's this good. You would not believe the struggles I spent doing lives for years on 2 meg uploads. Spending hundreds of dollars doing dual bonding calculus. I've got a dual one router over there, $800, collects a lot of dust. It's not as good as a $200 Sam's Club gaming router with, one of them that shapes things. They've got multiple processors. They got 8 core processors in these routers now, lots of memory. It needs it to prevent the traffic collision of the high volume. Works great for this mining. These miners they don't talk as much as the games do. So you can put a lot of stuff on it. If you're going to turn around and don't use a Cisco. That's my Cisco Dual One router, $800, collects dust, because it doesn't work as good as my $250 Sam's Club router. The chokes me down. Before I had the mining, just doing my normal stuff, it was choking me down. I was like, what the hell? So this is a learn from me moment. I see all that. I got some other stuff coming. I've been trying to contact the contractors that put in heated flooring, because like you saw in Blind Runs, there's a great big piece of concrete in that room. And if you reverse heated flooring where you insulate the concrete, make the heat go up, I want to take the insulator out and make the heat go down into the concrete, because it's a great big heat sink. So, it's one of those things where you could lay down all this tubing, lay down all this lattice, and if you move locations, you've got to pick it all up and move it to another location. But you don't have to expose your miners to outside open air if you can put the heat sink right into the dirt. Because those industrial buildings like that, the concrete is like steel, plus it's got steel in it. It will send that heat right into the ground. You got lots of heat sink, big earth heat sink right there. That's free. Not the tubing, not the lattice to keep it on, and all that other stuff. That all becomes Do you need to walk on it? Do you need to drive on it? Is it down in your basement? If you're in a basement, put that, instead of putting it on the floor, put it on the wall. All you got to do is make sure the heat's going towards the concrete. Cover it from the outside. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's not a rough concept, big heat sink. But I'm trying to get a contractor collab that becomes our expert for this type of a heat sink for people who have concrete as that ability. And right now, I'm scaring the hell out of the contractors. Why do you want the heat to go down? I don't understand. You won't keep any heat in the building if you do that. I'm like, oh, so you do get it? No, I don't. I'm like, oh my gosh. The heat only goes up. Heat rises. I'm like, heat goes where I tell it to go. If especially when it's in contact with a heat sink. All right. That's why they don't allow those floorings to touch concrete. They put an insulator down. They stick plywood down and on your concrete. Then they put the wooden floor in, and then they put your regular floor in, so that there's a heat sink from the floor. We're just going to take out. We're actually going to remove a step and just cover it, force the heat down. It's not rocket science, but it's not an industry standard. These guys don't understand that they got a tool that we could use because they don't understand how we are going to use that tool. Hopefully I can get that worked out. I've got a couple ideas on ground heat sinks for backyards, especially you guys who are using separated buildings. You got a lot of dirt in your backyard that can suck up a lot of energy. A lot of BTUs can be sucked up by dirt. The ground has a constant temperature to it. Send the kids out there and let them have fun, dig some holes, go bury some copper tubing. All right, man. I'll talk to everybody later. Thank you.